How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with yet another review. And tonight we're going to be doing another Firestone Walker beer. Seems like you've been a little bit of a Firestone Walker kick as of late, so they make good beers, so why stop? Tonight we're going to be doing their Wookey Jack, which is their black rye IPA. Heard good things about this, but then again, as you know out there, if you've watched any of my reviews, I'm not a huge IPA guy. Not that I don't like IPAs, I love them. It's just I'm very, very picky about them. They have to be a good IPA. This can't be mediocre, so hopefully this foots the bill. As far as what it says on the label, we have Firestone Walker, Proprietor's Reserve Wookey Jack, Black Rye IPA, Unfiltered Ale, Firestone Walker Brewing Company. Side here, government warning, malarkey. Let's see. Enjoy fresh within 120 days. We're a bit over that. This is, let's see, January, February, March, April. So April, May, June, July, August, September. About 5 months out. So hey, what can you do sometimes? But so yeah, you're looking about 5 months out. And other than that, 8.3% alcohol, and that's about it. So yeah, label-wise, I always do the whole label thing. Firestone Walker's labels, awesome. Just the epitome of what classy labels should be when it comes to a beer. Just something about them. Love them. Dig them. They're not pretentious. They're not crazy. They're just really, really top-notch labeling. So I'm a fan. But as I've always said, labeling's nice and all. And I love me a good bottle, but it's what's inside that counts. So hopefully what's inside here is pretty good. Let's see what we got here. That is black. Ooh. And that is a big head. That is a head, and there's a lot of hops going on there, but you can just smell it immensely from here. Not just a little bit. I mean, it's knocking me out from here. You know, nice little vigorous pour. Maybe a little too vigorous. So you get about 4 fingers worth of head out of that sucker. Nice creamy head. Not just on top, but in general. It's the color's like weird. It's like a coffee ice creamy color, like just the epitome of beige. Which typically beige is probably the most boring thing in the face of the planet, but in this case, it might be a good thing. Seems like it wants to be sticking around for a little bit. Hopefully, not too long. Get a little bit more in there. See if we can get her to go down a little bit. Anyway, yeah, look at that. It's almost like ice cream cake. Or ice cream floating on top of there. Throw a couple scoops of vanilla ice cream in that sucker. Or even coffee ice cream. Looks like coffee. There's some coffee ice cream. I'm rambling. Let's see what the nose has, even though there's a bunch of head in the way. A ton of hops. What you'd expect, obviously. It's an IPA, a rye IPA, so. It smells pretty good. Hopefully that sucker goes down. Eventually. At some time. In the future. As I said before, Firestone Walker, I'm a fan of pretty much everything they do. I mean, some of the stuff blows my doors off. Some of the stuff isn't amazing, but at the same time, they've never produced a beer that was bad for me. I mean, some of the stuff is a little uninspiring, but all in all, everything they've done has treated me well. The only thing that sucks about Firestone Walker, because I do the whole, like, not just overall score thing, I do an availability and value thing. It's just not really distributed in this area. Usually, typically when I get bottles of this, it's either shuttled to me from outside of the area, from friends of mine, or I'm getting it through, like, dubious means, through, like, shops that'll bootleg it in and stuff like that, which is fine, but then you're always paying a premium. I think for this, I paid somewhere between $15 and $20, which, I mean, that's obviously way too much for this, so on a value scale, it would grade pretty low. But in general, I wish it was distributed here so I can get more of it. So, yeah. It's just a nice hop. I mean, it's not overly citrusy, more like a piney hop. But, put that right in that sucker. Ooh, dry. All the Firestone Walker hoppy stuff is dry. I've come to notice. I did their DBA and then their Double Jack. So, I mean, something about their beers. IPA wise, it's the IPA, it's the hops they use. I should look it up. I'm not a brewer, so I'm not super well versed in the nuances of brewing with hops. I know different kind of hops, but I'm not super well versed on that. But whatever hops they use just has a really, really, really dry bite to it at the end. That just doesn't do it for me. It's not bad. It's a nice beer. But it's really hard to distinguish this, the Wookey Jack, from their Double Jack. It's a black rye IPA. It's black in color. So you'd expect it to be denser, more malty. You can taste a bit of the roasted malts there. But overall, it's not overtly different for me than from the Double Jack. So, I mean, if you're going to call yourself a black IPA, black rye IPA, you just want it to kick it up a notch, be a little bit different, be a little bit denser, be a little bit thicker. Like I said, if there's a little bit of maltiness there, roasted malt, rye, it's very subtle. It's not being part of the show. It's like a secondary or third character. You want to share the show equally with all the other parts of the beer, especially the hops, you know? So I just expected more from it, to be honest with you. As far as taste, mouth feels nice. It's not creamy, not super creamy, but it's not thin. It's just, you know, got a little bit of density to it, but not dense, but a little bit of density. Hop wise, like I said, super dry on the finish, and that just for me is my favorite hop. So for that, it's kind of not odd, just not my favorite way to finish a beer. Yeah, a little bit of maltiness, a little bit of earthiness. That's about it. And again, Firestone Walker. It's a good beer. It just doesn't do much for me. Overall wise, I probably give it, on par to the Double Jack, probably around like a 85, 86. And like I said, I'm going to go big NA. I mean, I could do the whole value, availability thing based off of this area, but it doesn't really get distributed, so that's unfair. So I'm just going to go big NA on those two ones. Not sure what it goes for at market value or how close to this area it's distributed, but yeah. So yeah, 85, 86, somewhere right around overall, and that's about it. I mean, if you're into IPAs and you like that dry finish, it might be something you want to check out. If you're into IPAs in general, it'd be worth it if you can grab a bottle of it, just give it a whirl. But yeah, I mean, for me, for my money, which, I mean, I've said before on multiple occasions, I'm willing to pay whatever I have to pay for beer I want. Like, I'll pay whatever I need to pay for what I want. So it's not a matter of, should I spend money on beer? It's like, what's worth the money? And for me, Firestone Walker's like Parabola or Sukava they're so fantastic. I'll pay what I got to pay to drink those. Their IPA line, for me, you know, I'd much rather pick up a 6-pack of Lagunitas over this. And that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, and that's the best thing about beer. Beer's subjective. So I like what I like, and you know, if you're in line with my taste, then you have an answer on whether you'd like it or not. If you don't, if you think I'm dumb, or you like the review or anything, leave some comments in the comment section below. So yeah, there's another review in the books. Like I said, mid to high 80s overall, and that's pretty much it. For me, pretty uninspiring beer, not too much to it. But then again, like I said, I'm really, really picking down my IPAs, so this one doesn't really do it for me. So yeah, Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. If you enjoyed it, hate it, somewhere in between. Like I said, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you'd like to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Massive Beers. We're infinitely more active on Instagram. So if you're going to check us out anywhere, check us out there. Another one down. So hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a good beer, and hopefully you see you next time. Cheers.